you're currently on the weirdest tripod setup ever. You are on the bottom of a candle, and you're being held up by a jar of daffodils. So, there you go. So, I'm gonna get going straight into it. So nothing else goes backwards, because if it does, I'm gonna get really annoyed. I have thought our house has been haunted for a long time. Please go away. A lot of stuff happens, a lot of creepy stuff happens, which I'll explain in a minute. But at the moment, it's getting pretty insane to the point where, like, I feel like if I don't make this video now, I'll end up just making it and it's going to be like way long, and I may as well make one now and then I can like update you in the coming months and stuff. But at the moment, it is insane. Like, the stuff that happens in this house is crazy. And it is like, sometimes it's like really small things, sometimes it's big things, and sometimes it is like, what the fuck was that? And it is so weird, and I cannot explain how crazy it is. I have said this before in my other paranormal video. Harmony says it in her videos. If you don't believe in these things, that is completely fine. I do. If you do not, just think of this as a scary story. But to me, this has happened. So for a while now, we have a lot of bangs in the house. Like, I know old houses do make noises, and I know, like, you will know the house noise that your house makes. Like, for instance, like if someone walks up the stairs creak. And when someone's upstairs, the floor makes certain noise when you step on certain floorboards. It doesn't do that by itself, but there are also noises in the house that do happen by themselves. Like, the ice machine does weird noises quite a lot of the time. And when people come in, they're like, what's that? And I'm like, it's just the ice machine. Do not panic, it's just the ice machine, it's fine. And at the moment, everything seems to be happening more upstairs and downstairs, but at the same time, it's like both. So when I'm home alone, which is a lot, I hear someone upstairs. And I'm not talking like someone like just upstairs, just a little bit. I'm talking like full on walking in my room. I can hear them when I step on my rug. I have like a floorboard underneath it that does creak, and it only happens when you step on it. And then as you step on that, because like the little creakiness, I have a little plaque that like makes a little shaky noise when you walk past it. That happens too. No one's upstairs, it's just me in the house. That is it. And that happens probably like more than 3 times a day maybe. And that, you know, maybe you can put that to something. I know what the noises are. And you can hear footsteps. One of the most weirdest things which happens every day is I make my bed every morning, and it has to be pristinely flat. Is that the right word? Has to be very flat, very nice, very even, perfect. And the amount of times I do this, then I go back into my room, and it's as if, and my mum has seen this, everyone has seen this, whenever someone's in, I'm like, come look at my room, look what that is. It has a perfect bum print on the bed, like someone has sat on the end of my bed every day. And I make my bed in the morning when no one's in, so it's just me in the house, and there is a full-on print of people sat on the bed, and I cannot explain that. And it's not even as if like it's just creased up a bit. I'm talking like a full-on, if you sat on something and left an ass print, there's an ass print on the bed. And I can't explain that in the slightest. It's the weirdest thing ever. But it also happens like on my throw on the end of my bed. And I recently got a chair in my room, and it happened on my chair. Because a couple of weeks ago I moved one of my other throws onto my chair, and it's like pretty flat. So when I sit on it, obviously when you sit on something you get up, there's like a little imprint. And every time I get up I flatten it out and put all the cushions right, because I have OCD with stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I go back, ass print. Someone has been sat there, and it wasn't me. It is weird, I can't explain it. Probably the one thing that happens a lot is the stairs. Our house, you've probably seen like in videos and stuff, where our couch is, the stairs right behind it. There's no wall or anything, it's just like couch, stair. And when we're sat downstairs and my brother's upstairs, he shouts down and he's like, wait, who's upstairs? And we're like, we're sat downstairs, and he's like, no, someone just walked up the stairs. You can hear people constantly walking up and down the stairs. And our stairs make a very loud noise at certain points. They are literally walking up and down the stairs all the time. I've even heard in my room my drawers open, because I have quite loud drawers in my room, and when you open them they like make a little rookie noise. And as soon as I hear that, I'm like, and I can be downstairs and hear it because it is that loud. And sometimes I'm like, right, there's got to be an explanation, but there's no explanation. There is literally, it's as if there is someone physically in my bedroom, like moving stuff and everything. One of the other things that happens a lot is the moving of items in the house. Now, my brother will blame me for a lot of moving about. I do move stuff, but I know where I put them. So, you know, people put like a purse down or like the car keys down, and it's in a stupid place, so I move it to like the tray or something. So that's like me moving it. And then I will put something and I know where I've put it, and the day after I'll go back and it's completely somewhere different, or we can't even find it. Like, we have lost so many things in this house that we all know we saw the night before and we put in a certain area, and we go back downstairs and that thing is not found, and then like weeks later it will just pop up somewhere completely the opposite, and I cannot explain that. We do have a lot of noises, as in whispers. We hear a lot of whispering in the house. I hear a woman mainly, especially at night when everyone's in bed and everyone's asleep. I hear a lady, like I can hear her whispering certain things. I can never really work out what it is, what it says, what she says. I really don't know. We've also heard, I say like maybe 3 times now, a little girl laughing. And I know this sounds like absolutely crazy, but we hear a little girl laughing. And we can all be, the first time it happened we were all in the kitchen, and me and my brother were talking, mum was over there, and all of a sudden in the utility, which leads to nothing, there's no other house like where the utility is, it's like nothing, we heard a little kid laugh in the utility room, and we all kind of like stood there and we were just like, alright, I'm moving on to the couch because my back is like towards nothing. It's like facing outwards, and I kept hearing a noise and I can't work out what it is, and I get a really uneasy feeling when my back's towards things in the kitchen. I always do. It is the only house in the only room in the house where when I'm in it I sense someone behind me all the time. So at night when I'm washing the dishes, I'm putting like the cushions straight, I absolutely panic all the time because I feel like there is someone just like here, right behind me. And it gets to the point where like, you'll know like when you sense like someone's behind you, you can like almost feel them behind you and like getting closer. That's how it feels. It is weird. But yeah, so the laughing, we hear a lot. Whispers, we hear a lot of whispers. And we get handprints, which are new in the house. I don't mean like imprinted of a hand on things. I mean like mucky handprints. And you'll have seen it in my other video. I don't know if I've got the clip on my phone, so if I do I'll put it here, but I might not. So I'll link the video down below. The weird handprints like occur on places where you can't reach. So for instance, in the living room, they're on the ceiling, and they're very tiny, like almost childlike handprints, and we've all like held our hands up. They're not our hands, and you have to get a ladder for one to reach the ceiling, which we don't need to reach the ceiling, so we never do that. But they're just, it's so creepy, it's so weird, and it happens a lot in around the house, like little tiny handprints. And also the weirdest thing for me is in my room, on my outside of my window, which one is impossible to reach for anyone unless you were like a giant. And we also don't have a window cleaner, so it's not a window cleaner. I have handprints on that side of my window. And because at first, like, you know when like the sun shines through and you're like, oh, my windows need cleaning, and I clean them, I can't clean the other side because I can't reach, and it's the other side. Like, how is that? I don't understand how it's possible. It is insanely crazy. I cannot explain it in the slightest. I don't know what that is at all. But it is getting progressively not worse. I don't feel like it's bad at all. I never have done. But there is something there. And whether it is because of what I believe in, or whether it's because I'm always looking at paranormal stuff, that I don't know. But it happens a lot. But I'm going to update you all soon. So keep on watching for that. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. And I'll see you all next week.